Hey yo, what's up? It's your boy RJ.
What's up? It's your boy JQ. What it do, guys?
Man, we are back with another video, some more content for you guys.
Yes,
And
sir.
no, we couldn't let Week 2 of the NFL come in without us first talking about probably the best Week 1 of football that I've seen in
Man,
an extremely long time.
I'm talking about from the beginning to the end.
From the beginning, we've had multiple barn burners,
Yep.
close games, some upsets, closer games than what we thought they were going to be, and
And
some disappointments.
the rookie quarterbacks didn't really have a really good showing. So
I think the one rookie quarterback stand out for me is probably Mac Jones. Playing the Dolphins, I think he had a completion rate percentage of like 70% or something like that. And everybody's all as soon as he goes there, people are throwing out the Brady comparisons. Da, 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 da.
yeah,
I am not even going to entertain that thought process. I wish Mac Jones all kinds of success because great quarterbacks makes a great league and it's good for the NFL.
yeah.
But I'm just saying, it's week 1. It's one game. There are 16 more games in playoffs.
What thing I like about Matt Jones is that he looked like a vet.
Yes, and that's one of his best features, I think.
The game didn't look rushed to him.
Not at all. It looks like the game is already slowing down.
Yeah. So that's the opposite for Trevor Lawrence because it looked like Trevor Lawrence was on skates the whole time.
Yeah, but his O line is terrible.
Well, even being that as his mate, he threw some awful balls.
Yeah, but if my O line is terrible and I'm scared I'm going to get sacked on every play, I ain't going to have that much focus on putting the most accuracy on the ball. Hey. I'm trying to survive.
Well, true, but he get paid a lot of money.
Yeah, he get paid a lot of money, but I still ain't trying to die. I'm trying to live so I can spend that money. You know what I mean?
Real quick, how do you feel about the first game of the season, the Cowboys and the Bucks? That was a nail biter, bro.
It was a nail biter. Let me say, if I was a Dallas Cowboys fan, I would come away from that game feeling pretty good. Yeah, I would have put Dak up there instead of Zeke because Dak, they didn't run him. I mean, Zeke, they didn't run him that much because they really couldn't. But Dak coming out 400 yards. You cannot doubt talent when you got talent, and their wide receiving core was on fire.
It was.
And they look good. Their defense is so much better than it was already. It is just one game. I think that's what we all had. That's the perspective that we got to keep with all these teams because even New Orleans surprised everybody with their performance.
One thing I will say is, Tom Brady is an ageless wonder. He had 4 touchdowns, I think. He's like it's the first time a 44-year-old had a performance like that in the NFL. People usually don't play to that age. But also, I look at the other GOAT, which is Aaron Rodgers, and he looked like he was packing it in. He looked like he was not interested in playing at all.
I think so. Packers play the Lions next week, week 2. Honestly, about Aaron Rodgers' week 1 performance, I think we could chop it up to the yips. I don't think that's going to be a huge tell how he plays for the rest of the season. What did he throw? Did he have a bad game? Absolutely, it was horrendous, right? Horrendous. You can't not ignore that. But I do think he'll certainly bounce back in the Lions game. I mean, this is a guy who has been in the league for a very long time and has had very few downs in his careers over the course of his career. So, with that being said, it was a terrible game, and the Saints did a good job of taking advantage of that And some people say, well, after the second half, they took their starters out, and this blah blah blah. Well, they took them out because the Saints took them out of the possibility of coming back and to win this game. So you got to give you got to give them that much credit. I mean, the New Orleans blew them out.
Well, first of all, I'm not gonna give Packers credit at all because Packers are trash. Go Bears. But Bears ain't do it that much better. But really, what I wanna ask you, bro, because it's I want to talk about a guy that you rooted for a lot, but also that you request more out of, and that's Lamar Jackson. He did not have a real good showing in crunch time yesterday.
Yeah,
two fumbles, bro. 2 fumbles. What's happening with him?
I think I still feel like Baltimore. I feel like they don't have a childish playbook. I don't know how else to really put it, because I mean, if I'm preparing for Baltimore, I'm not a football expert. I'm not a coach. I'm a person that gets on here and just gives out their opinion about stuff, and that people like it, they like it. They don't. Let us know in the comments. But what I will say is, if Lamar Jackson, for me, if he's going to take a step towards the next level, right, of being where people no longer doubt him, I strongly feel like, for one, the Baltimore's wide receiving core, isn't terrible, right? They got Hollywood Brown. They just picked up Sammy Watkins. Do they still have Willie Snead? I think they do. I'm not sure. But here's the crest of this, right? Baltimore gets up to the line. Lamar gets up to the line. He's either going to throw left, right, up the middle, or scramble up, or they're going to run the ball.
True.
So as a defense, one thing the Raiders did do somewhat of a good job, right? And when you're dealing with a fast running quarterback like Lamar Jackson, there's only so much you can do when they start scrambling, because the dude runs a 4.3.
Yes, exactly.
So there's not, once that momentum goes and that acceleration is up, it's like trying to catch Tyreek Hill. You're not gonna do it. Nope. Is that I noticed that when they blitz, I noticed that there was always 2 defenders watching Lamar Jackson, right? Whether it was a down defensive lineman, or it was a corner sitting in the flat, or they had an outside linebacker following him to the side of the field that he was rotating off to, like play actions and all that stuff, right? And way too many play actions too, and way too many like RPOs, way too many.
Yeah,
they got a lot of gadget plays, and I think that just doesn't work a lot in the NFL. People figure that kind of stuff out.
True, that's very true.
So I think that if I'm an offensive coordinator, I'm just like, imagine if we gave him the mechanics, or told him that you're gonna have to work on the mechanics of pocket presence, because Lamar Jackson really doesn't have any pocket presence as far as sitting in the pocket and being able to deliver a ball. Now, to his credit, maybe his O-line is not as good as it needs to be to make him feel comfortable that he has time to throw. But sometimes I don't know. I just feel like their offense is heavily predicated on him being able to run outside the pocket and get some yards, or run outside the pocket and then pass the ball 30 yards down the field, versus where you see other elite quarterbacks marching down the field because they're reading these defenses. And I'm not saying Lamar Jackson can't read defenses, y'all, but there are better quarterbacks at reading defenses, like Russell Wilson. The Wilsons, the Bradys, Mannings, all those type of quarterbacks. And they can pick apart a defense without having to scramble. To me, you got 2 good, like Russell Wilson is a good scrambling quarterback, right? He knows when to scramble, and he knows when he just needs to sit in the pocket and deliver a ball.
But here's the thing. Russell, he scrambled to pass, And Lamar, he scrambled to get out of trouble.
Yeah. And maybe that's attributed to their O line. They lead the league in injuries. So, so
that's messed up. They had 2 major injuries in one practice.
And then they literally had like 4 or 5 running backs.
Yeah.
They had to elevate people off of practice squad. So right now, that team is not at 100%.
It's not.
It's not at 100%. And morale is probably pretty low.
And my 2 surprise teams of week 1 is actually the Bengals and the Philadelphia Eagles. The Bengals beat the Vikings, who we thought was going to be good, and the Eagles beat the Atlanta Hawks. So I think
suck though, bro. I'm sorry, for my Falcons. They know they're bad, and they know that they're past. Matt Ryan is past his prime, and it's time to look towards. They need the next year in the draft. It's time to look towards the future, because it's time for that team to rebuild some kind of reputation again for being like a contending team. So and the Bengals, they beat the Vikings. I did think that the Vikings were going to win that game.
Yeah,
but it's like you saw 2 kind of mediocre type teams.
Yeah, the Bengals could be on the rise. Who knows?
Yeah. They could
you ain't gonna hold your breath.
You know what? This is NFL. Anything is possible. The Bengals could go 17-0. Oh, I know. But if I'm looking at who's gonna play? They play Chicago. It'll be Chicago and the Bengals, right?
Yeah.
I think Chicago's gonna come away with that game on defense alone. Just because.
Well, I mean, the Chicago Bears defense is extremely disappointing. It is. Like,
they play the LA Rams though with.
But I mean, to have a max, they got a couple max contracts on that defense, and they got 35 points was put on them. Like,
but so that let me ask you this. So, in comparison, Tampa Bay's defense gave up a lot of points before Brady got there, right? Attributed to the fact that Jameis Winston was throwing hella interceptions. And their defense was always on the field, it seemed like.
I see where you're going.
If let's say if Andy Dalton, right, can actually finish drives, get the touchdowns, right, to where defense actually comes out at like an appropriate time, like they're not on the field as much, so like they're not gassed during certain periods, right? Because Andy Dalton, when they played the Rams, Andy Dalton couldn't move anything. They scored what, 2 touchdowns?
They scored 14 points, and Andy Dalton didn't score not one of those points.
Yeah, so
the rookie scored 1, and then they running back scored 1.
So I feel like start Justice Fields, man. But maybe they know something. Maybe he's not ready. But I mean,
here's the thing. That coach needs to save his job.
Yeah.
Because if I'm a GM, he gone. He gone, bro. How you gonna start Andy Dalton? Andy Dalton?
I don't know why
Justice. Like, come on, man.
Sitting there with the Bengals and do nothing for years.
Come on.
You know what I mean? And
he's the poster boy of mediocrity.
Mm-hmm. And
as a quarterback, and he made a lot of money out of that. Get your money, move on.
It's time move around,
playboy.
You know, and I think Justice Fields will be good for Chicago, and I think he'll bring a good energy to that offense that's kind of been stagnant, to like trying to take that next step and get that, because in that division, the Bears and the Colts had a great rivalry going on because there were 2 very good teams at some point in time. So it'd be nice to see them, because they're not too far off, I don't think, as far off as people think they are from being a contending team.
Yeah. But in that division, it's wide open because you got the Lions, the Minnesota and Green Bay in turmoil. Like that division is wide open.
I think
Anybody
Green
can
Bay
get it.
will bounce back. It's hard for me because there's
I
so
don't
much
know.
talent on that team. Do I think Green Bay is slightly overrated? I think slightly they're a little bit like overrated just because of the team hasn't really done nothing. You know what I mean? And since 2010, they pretty much. I will say this: they've had a lock on their division for a very long time.
Yeah,
and they've have appeared in NFC championships and things of that nature, right?
yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's just like something's got to give. Like you got to.
Let me ask you a question, bro. Who's your biggest dud of the week one?
The
Let me
biggest dud.
let me give you mine.
Okay.
It was so much hype behind Tennessee
Oh yeah,
for them
that
to
was
get
disappointing.
Spanked
Spanked like that, and
spanked.
they're thin and they don't have that much talent in the secondary either.
I'm telling you, I never saw Kyler Murray just
Kyler Murray
fall out
went
with
off.
somebody
He
like
was a
that.
baller. 4 touchdowns,
Yes.
right? 289
Yep.
yards, I believe. 4 touchdowns, 289 yards.
Yeah. One rushing touchdown, 4 passes, 1 rush.
And he is feeling good. He got his little swag on him. I tell you what,
Hey,
I think Zeke is going to have a big game.
Whoever had him in fantasy.
Oh, I got him. 145 points. Whatever kind of league that one of my guys set up. I don't know how he's doing the points, but Kyler Murray had 145 points.
Wow, that's crazy.
So, I don't know. I think it's like some kind of PPR league. I don't know.
Yeah.
Dallas. So we know we got coming up in week 2. We got Dallas Cowboys versus the LA Chargers. I think Dallas is going to take that game. I think Dallas is still perceived kind of as the underdog, but I just after that, it's only one game. It's only one game, but they played against the defending Super Bowl champions and almost won.
And that defense. Now, one thing I would say is like, in order for them to win this next game, no turnovers, and they got to get after the quarterback.
Got to get after the quarterback. But you know, playing Tom Brady's Buccaneers and playing Justin Herbert's Chargers, right? It's vastly 2 different teams, right?
No. It's Matt Stafford. Rams.
They play the Chargers.
They play the Chargers?
They play the Chargers.
Okay. Then my mistake. Did the Chargers win last week?
I believe they did.
I believe they did. I think they played Washington.
Since we have the technology, people, we're gonna look it up real quick. The ESPN. Let's get these schedules right for you guys. So we all know that the Colts disappointed me. That's probably my biggest thing. I thought they would put up a better showing against the Seahawks, but then again, we get hit with injuries. So
now, one thing I will say about the Colts, their offense didn't really do bad to me. It's just that that defensive secondary is just like
riddle.
It's non-existent. It's no like you might as well they were just playing pitch and catch.
Yeah, Cowboys play the Chargers.
Okay.
Cowboys play the Chargers. I got Cowboys.
Yeah, I got Cowboys.
I got Cowboys. But and the reason why is that people don't since they lost their first week 1 game, I think you're automatically considered an underdog.
Yeah.
But if you actually watch that game, you like, ooh, no, that's close. That's close.
Like they got it. Like they got it. Like you. Yeah.
The Vikings play the Cardinals in week 2.
I got the Cardinals.
Taking the Cardinals. Falcons, Buccaneers. We already know what's going to happen there.
Yeah, Tampa Bay.
Seahawks, Titans. I'm taking the Seahawks. Chiefs, Ravens. I'm taking the Chiefs.
Absolutely.
Surprising performance for me, at least, was the Browns, how they performed against Kansas City.
Man, did Baker find a way?
He found a way. Does he have his? He has shown a lot of improvement, I think, from last year to this first game. Again, only one game, but they are not slouches like people think they are. Definitely not slouches. They are definitely.
I want to know when Odell is coming back. When Odell's coming back.
I don't know.
Odell could almost consider to be a washout if he don't. Because with his last productive year,
he's missed a lot of games, and I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. He could come out and he can come back on the Browns and have a breakout season.
Or he could be considered the D Rose of football.
With the injuries, this is true. Can't deny the injuries. You gotta be able to play to prove how great you are. At the end of the day, you gotta be able to play to prove how great you are. We got Bills and the Dolphins. Definitely.
I got the Bills. The Bills
on that.
Yeah.
And then you got Bears, Bengals. I'm taking the Bengals could win, but I'm going to take the Bears on that one.
It depends on who play.
It depends on
who's the quarterback.
They're going to start with Andy Dalton. I guarantee you. They're going to start.
I promise you. In the crowds, they're going to be like, Justin Fields, bro.
And here's the thing. I respect Justin Fields' candor about cheer for everybody who's playing. But Andy Dalton is not the guy. If you got a guy that is poised to play and ready to play,
you're not the one, bro. You can
only protect these rookie quarterbacks for so long, bro. And they got to play. They got to play.
And they was talking about Patrick Mahomes sit behind who was that? I can't remember his name. But he sit behind somebody for a whole year. Like Patrick Mahomes didn't need to sit behind nobody to be Patrick Mahomes. He's either Patrick Mahomes or he ain't.
This is one of those things you see in football where they want people to be humble.
Yeah.
About the situation.
Right.
But like who are you gonna start between Mac Jones and Cam Newton? You're gonna start Mac Jones, and the Patriots weren't afraid to make that decision.
Yeah.
Fields is ready to play now.
Yes.
But hey, we don't get paid to make those decisions. But as far to wrap up this week one and recap, honestly, I think this is some of the best football I've seen out of a week one in the NFL. Haven't been alive that long, so could be more to come. And there could be some weeks in the past that I have surely forgotten about. But I think this week one is certainly more memorable, even coming out of a pandemic. So.
And it hasn't been a lot of injuries.
There's a lot of injuries, and I think it feels different because we can see people in the stands now.
Yes,
you can feel that energy, that organic crowd roar, the cheering, the booing, all that.
The thing that makes football great, that makes sports great.
It does make sports great, and I think that's going to give a lot of teams energy. Not going to give up on my Colts. It's only one game. They do have another tough assignment in playing the LA Rams. I'm a Colts fan. I'm a diehard Colts fan, but I think the Rams are going to win that one.
I know.
Really because
I think they can. It just
I'm worried about the secondary. That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah, the secondary is just horrible.
Because
do better.
They got to lock in. They got some injuries in the secondary, but it's always next man up, and if they can lock it down and pull out the upset, hey, I'm happy. But in reality, they know they gotta watch out for Matthew Stafford and how he's just throwing that ball. Throwing that ball in his last appearance with the Rams.
Well, guys, we love you. We thank you guys for watching. Hey, enjoy these games. Be glad that you could go to a game, or you could watch somebody, or you could just hang out with your people and watch these games. This was football about.
All it's about. But once again, that's the end of our little show here, you guys. I want to thank you, as always, for all the support. Please check out our Facebook cave, our Facebook page at The Man Cave, and check out our YouTube channel, Cecilia Your Brother. Please like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, whatever little gadgets they got, hit them all. Tell your friends, tell your mama, tell everybody. Once again, really do appreciate your guys' support, and we out.
Peace.